I've made no secret of the fact that as far as politics goes in this country, I'm completely and utterly disenfranchised. I'm sick to death of a lot of them. You're probably sick to death of me making politics videos, but at the end of the day, this stuff is important and we need to think about what's going on, and we need to think about changing our mindset in believing all the mumbo jumbo that the big two come out with. If you, like me, are disenfranchised, and if you, like me, are, well, as good as politically homeless, then please subscribe to the channel and certainly let me know your comments. Now, at this time of year, particularly when there's an election coming up, the level of junk mail increases. You get letters, you get flyers, you get all sorts of stuff. I did a video yesterday where I got a letter from the Labour Party. And, they cocked it up right at the top and, we dissected it and saw what it's all about. Now, I come home from work today and I find this, Britain's future. Well, first of all, I'm English, thank you very much, not British. So if you take kind of the bits of the Union flag out and just have the red cross, I feel more at home. But let's take it for what it is, shall we? Now, on the back of it, we got this. Labour's missions. Okay. So we've got get Britain building again. Kickstart growth and create skilled jobs by building the infrastructure we need for the future. These are all buzzwords, buzzwords that have no substance. It's out of the politician's handbook. Switch on Great British Energy, cut energy bills for good and create 500,000 high-paid jobs with a new publicly owned clean energy company. But all this rush to green and all this rush to clean energy is what's got us in trouble in the first place. It's what's pushed the prices up, and it's basically what's made people not afford to keep the heating on. Heat or eat. Do you remember that? And 500,000 high-paid jobs. What's high-paid? Is that minimum wage? How's it going to be paid for? This old doozy as well, right? Get the NHS back on its feet. Cut waiting times by paying NHS staff to deliver 2 million more appointments on evenings and weekends. One of my favourites with this, right? I mean, you talk about veterans, Johnny Mercer turning around and saying, tell your doctor that you're a veteran and it will open up a myriad of things for you. So what they're doing is passing the buck and putting more strain on an already overstrained NHS as it is. We've got a population crisis, folks, and there isn't the capability to actually deal with everything and everybody. I take this one personally as next one. Take back our streets. 13,000 extra police and PCSOs on the streets, and guaranteed town centre patrols to tackle gangs, drug dealers, and antisocial behaviour. Well, when you get 13,000 extra officers, I'd love to know what proportion of those are actual officers with the powers of arrest and which of those are PCSOs with no power at all. And also, how many have retired? How many have left because it's not the job they thought it was? In the thousands. So when you put the 13,000 back in, which will never happen, by the way, it takes 2.5 years to fully train a police constable and allow them to go out and do the job. And we've seen recruitment standards and everything else fall by the wayside. There's problems all over the place with the police. It's a joke. And by the time they get in there, there's so much bureaucracy and arse covering. No, doesn't work. Break down barriers to opportunity. Breakfast clubs in every primary school, 6,500 new specialist teachers and technical excellence colleges for top-class training and apprenticeships. That old chestnut. How's it going to be paid for? Where are you going to get the staff to fill these? How are you going to incentivize them to come in? Again, you've got this situation where so many are leaving because there's just too much pressure. Breakfast clubs in every primary school. How's that going to be paid for? Maybe try and teach parents the value of actually feeding their kids and giving them the facility to do so by lowering the bloody prices at the shops. You're just moving the problem from one place to another. Nah, there's a generation gone wrong here somewhere. Everything is fully funded, so there will be no repeat of the conservative economic chaos of the last few years. Note in the drawer, anybody? Well, anyway, this was put through, as I said, Britain's future. Okay. And if we open it up, we've got this lady. Don't know if you can see her there. Her name is Polly Billington, and she's going to be the Labour candidate for the East Thanet seat. It used to be North Thanet and South Thanet, but where they're kind of redrawing all the boundary lines, it's become, I think, East and West or something like that. But she's the one that's going to kick Craig McKinley out. That's the thing. This is good. My pledge, my contract to you, candidate contract. I'll have a constituency office that's easy to find and make residents feel welcome. I know where Craig's is. 2, I'll work with residents and businesses to build a green economy with people at its heart. We don't want a green economy. We want an economy that works. I'll live in the constituency and play an active part in the community. Craig lives in the constituency most of the time. I'll be an MP for everyone, bringing the whole community together. Well, you will be an MP for everybody, because if people elect you, you're supposed to represent us, everybody. I can't see you bringing the whole community together, though. I'll always put East Thanet and the country first. Is that above politics? Is that above party? So when the whip comes and tells you how you're going to vote, are you going to put Thanet first? And look, you can see that there. She even signed it. Signed, that's a contract. That's got a signature. Now, does that carry any weight? Now, who is Polly Billington? So you can see her face there, right? That's what I think of that. Now let's do our homework, shall we? Here she is, Polly Billington. Google is a wonderful thing, and you can find out all sorts of information about all sorts of people. Now, born 1967 and an English journalist. That kind of makes my hair stand up on end straight away when I see that. Now, we've got a bit about her education. Professional career. Billington was a BBC reporter. No. Today programme, News 24, the politics show, and on Radio 1 as the first ever dedicated political reporter for Newsbeat. Head of communications and campaigns at Citizens Advice. Founded UK 100 in 2016. I think I've done something about that in the past. The only network for UK locally elected leaders who play their part in the global effort to avoid worst impacts of climate change. So this person is obsessed with climate change and all part of that agenda. I don't like this. There's other things that need spending money on. Politics, here's the juicy bit. She became a special advisor to Ed Miliband. I threw the bloody thing over there now. I might need to reference something. A special advisor to Ed Miliband in 2007. So she's been in the game, 17 years? Working on party political and election strategy in the Cabinet Office. Billington sought to become a parliamentary candidate in 2010. So is it a politician for East Thanet, or is it just you want to be a politician? No. She was shortlisted for the safe Labour seat of North Tyneside. She was the media director for Ed Miliband's successful Labour leadership bid. Some credited her with honing his questions and replies to David Cameron at Prime Minister's Questions. Still looked like a bit of a turnip at the time, so not great, really. In 2011, Billington launched another bid to be selected as a Labour MP, this time in Thurrock. So she's being parachuted into different places. Tyneside, Thurrock, and now we roll all the way forward to 2024. Thanet, my neck of the woods. This time, she gained a nomination for a marginal seat. She was one of 15 Labour candidates, each given financial support of 10 grand by Lord Matthew Oakeshott, the former Lib Dem, in January 2015. The tight three-way contest resulted in a Tory hold over Billington, with UKIP coming third. Billington worked on Sadiq Khan's campaign to be selected as Labour's candidate to be Mayor of London, leading on communications. She was one of 2 Labour Party councillors elected to the Beauvoir ward in Hackney with 1,448 votes, re-elected in 2022. She moved around, career politician, served as chair of the Skills Economy and Growth Commission at Hackney Council. Among other roles, served as executive member of Labour's environment, and is on the advisory group of Labour Climate and Environment Forum. In 2023, she was selected by the local party members as the parliamentary candidate for East Thanet at the next general election. So that's literally 3 parliamentary seats, a couple of councillor jobs, and work for the BBC. The point I'm trying to make, folks, is when you get that stuff in the post, if you're going to read it, absorb it, try and find out about who's going in or who wants that seat. What have they done before? What's their involvement been before? And then you can make a decision. But it stinks to me, you've got Conservative or you've got Labour. Neither are any damn good. Both have got skeletons in closets, and we need a little bit of reformation to please the day. Let me know what you think in the comments. I like having a good rant when I get a load of rubbish in the post. Here's another video for you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Oh, don't forget, like the video, share the hell out of my stuff. Toodaloo.